Good morning. How are you?
Good, good, amazing. It's actually evening here in Switzerland
Oh,
already.
oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I feel your pain, by the way. You know, you're Swiss. I'm Swedish.
We're basically the same for the US. We're the same.
In the eyes of Americans, we are the same, but two very different countries. I don't know how many times I've been asked about my yodeling, and I'm like, guys, you got to start working on the geography. It's not.
After this interview, I'm gonna build some IKEA things. So
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
to get into shape for his revenge, your character is doing pull-ups, which he has trouble with at the beginning. Is it for you tougher to fake a weak pull-up or do a real one?
It's very hard to fake it. You have to do it. But the problem is that when pull-ups are it's a kind of exercise you just can't do that many. So if you're asked to do 10 pull-ups in a shot, you have to get it in the first three takes. Because I can't do more than I can't do more than that. So I remember in the film, it looks like I'm like really close to the end of a workout because I was, because it also takes them a while to get the shot right, and I'm getting very tired in the end.
There's not a lot of dialogue in this movie. How would you describe the script that you got?
Very intense and extremely well written. Stellan Skarsgård was one of my first mentors. He taught me that the film happens, in the descriptions in between the lines, and this film was just description, but it really gave you a sense of Godlock's inner life. So it was very well written of describing his anguish and his pain and his thought process. So I found it very helpful throughout the film. I would go back and like reread the scenes before I went into, it was still a lot of work for me because I have to create all that inner dialogue. But the script really gave me a lot. And when you read the script and watch the film, it's pretty close. You really feel the pace of the script in the film.
The easiest way to ruin a take is to mispronounce something. Since this risk was largely eliminated in Silent Night, what was the main reason why you had to redo a take?
Very often it was because there was no dialogue. Very often John would, use the time to just create one beautiful but often very complicated cinematic shot to tell the story of a scene. So, to make it right, the timing has to be right. It's often a slow camera movement, and maybe there's a light cue that changes, and I have to turn at the right moment, and a lot of zoom in. So it was more complications. It was more complicated for the camera than for me often. So we didn't have to redo any takes because I stumbled on a line, but that we got everything right, and that the timing was right.
One of John Woo's next film will be a remake of his masterpiece, The Killer.
Yeah.
If you could choose a role in a John Woo classic, which one would you like to play in a remake?
Whew. Castor Troy.
Castor Troy, not Sean Archer?
No.
Castor Troy would be more fun.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
There's a spectacular action scene in a stairwell. How many days did it take to get that scene just right?
Well, it was at least a week of rehearsals, and then of course all the stunt guys are working, weeks before to get to that point. And then when they have created the shape of that scene in each fight, then they plug me in, and then we're rehearsing for a week, and then I think it took 2 or 3 days of shooting, something like that. Yeah, it was my favorite action sequence of the film.
Is there any crazy or cool little detail about the production that you would like to share with us that you haven't been able to talk about yet?
No, but it was an amazing experience to get to do this kind of film. You don't expect to get to do a film experiment with this kind of a budget, and so I was just very proud to be a part of it, and I think it's really cool that it's actually becoming a film that's getting a wide release in theaters. It's not very many film experiments that reach this kind of audience.
My time is unfortunately up. I have to go back to my IKEA furniture.
I'll be yodeling all the way home.
You keep practicing that yodeling. You can do it. I believe in you.
All right, take care.